Stage 1 of the inaugural Women's Tour of Scotland was scheduled to take the riders 103 kilometres from Dundee to Dunfermline. However, biblical weather conditions was what awaited the riders on the stage. Galoof of Ali Cipollini Bujak of BTC City took the first and second sprints, while Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, the first Queen of the Mountains. As the rain continued to pour and with the reports of standing water, they took the correct but difficult decision to stop the race at 62 kilometres. Stage 2 took the riders from George Square in Glasgow all the way to Perth. At 139 kilometres, it was the longest day in the saddle. As they headed north out of the city and through kilometre 0, Stage 2 of the Women's Tour of Scotland was officially underway. With 3 chances of sprint points on offer, the real talking point would be the Event Scotland Queen of the Mountains climb coming at 45 kilometres over the beautiful and imposing Duke's Pass. The first intermediate sprint, 37.8 kilometres in Aberfoyle, saw home favourite Nia Evans take maximum points for Scottish cycling, with Lotto Soudal's Annelies Dommins second and Valcar Silance's Chiara Consoni taking third. It was then straight on to the gruelling 4-kilometre climb of Duke's Pass at 45 kilometres race. The views over the top would be spectacular, although the riders wouldn't have any chance to appreciate them as the pace surged on the steep gradients. The peloton at the back started to fracture. Queen of the Mountains leader Cecily Uttrup Ludwig was the first to the top to take a maximum 8 points. Her teammate Elise Shabby of Bigler took second, and Joss Loudon of Drops crested the summit in third place. The tough climb had created huge splits in the peloton, and a group of 9 riders broke clear at the front of the race. And it would be this group who contested the second Motorola Solutions sprint. Leah Thomas of Team Bigler would be the first across the line in the sprint, followed by Stein Borgli of the Norway national team and Krista Doble-Hickok of Rally UHC Cycling. The peloton looked to catch the breakaway, but not before Brodie Chapman of Team Tibco SVB had launched a solo attack. Her effort saw her take the third sprint of the day, and she had opened up a 1 minute and 30 second advantage over the rest of the field. Eugenia Bujak of BTC City Ljubljana won the sprint for second from the bunch, with Aram Nar of LA Cipollini coming in the third. Into the finish, Chapman had been caught, and it all came down to a ferocious bunch sprint in front of a huge crowd waiting to welcome the riders home in Perth. And it was Team Tibco's Silicon Valley Bank rider Alison Jackson who crossed the line first, just ahead of Emma White of Rally UHC. A phenomenal sprint from the Team Tibco rider Alison Jackson, who becomes the first ever stage winner of the Women's Tour of Scotland. Confirmation of the stage result, Alison Jackson takes it ahead of Emma White and Stein Borgli, with Thomas de Gas, Sanguinetti, Roberts, Parkinson, Fisher-Back and Bujak your top 10. Overall, it meant Alison Jackson of Tibco's Silicon Valley Bank became the first rider to wear the Bailey Gifford yellow jersey, and she would take a 4-second advantage over Emma White and Stein Borgli into the third stage, with Leah Thomas sitting in fourth at 7 seconds. Stage 3 was 117 kilometres, starting and finishing in Edinburgh's Holyrood Park. 3 sprints for Queen of the Mountains awaited before a 3-lap loop in the park. All 4 leaders' jerseys started on the front as 83 riders rolled out. They included Scotland's finest, Katie Archibald. As forecast, the rain began to fall. There was some standing water, but this is Scotland, and plenty of brave souls showed up to show their support. The wet weather, though, and greasy roads saw spills aplenty as a number of riders crashed at the back of the peloton. The first Motorola Solutions sprint came at 51.2 kilometres of racing. It was Rebecca Durrell who crossed the line first, while Leah Thomas, wearing the red jersey, picked up more points in second. Aram Nar of LA Cipollini battled for third, while Stein Borgli, who lay third overall, claimed 1 point, with fourth in the sprint. The Mound was the first of 4 Queen of the Mountains climbs of the day after 70.4 kilometres race. And once again, it was Bigler driving the pace at the front. The Swiss team's train putting plenty of riders in difficulty at the back of the bunch. The pace was fast and the group was strung out. They were riding for Danish superstar Cecily Uttrup Ludwig, who was in the Event Scotland Queen of the Mountains jersey, and she delivered, picking up a maximum 8 points at the summit, while teammate Elise Shabby ensured no one else could come close, crossing the line in second, while Evgenia Bujak continued her excellent form in this race in third for BTT City Ljubljana. And Sophie Dijk riding like so many in memory of Belgian teammate Björg Lambrecht, who so tragically lost his life at the Tour of Poland last week, attacked solo. Spurred on, she rolled through the second intermediate sprint at Bonnyrigg and built up an advantage of over 1 minute and 30 seconds. Race leader Alison Jackson sprinted to second to claim some valuable points. Evgenia Bujak once again featured at the front of the field, crossing the line in third, with sprints leader Leah Thomas picking up 1 point in fourth. As the rain continued to hammer down and Sophie Dijk rode into Holyrood Park to a brilliant reception from the expectant crowds, she crossed the line for the first time to pick up more points in the third and final intermediate sprint of the day. Just under a minute behind her, the peloton raced through, Leah Thomas ensuring the points jersey was her, crossing the line in second, while Slovenian national champion Evgenia Bujak again claimed third. 3 laps and 3 QOM climbs of Queen's Drive awaited the riders. Inspired by a stellar team performance so far, Cecily Uttrup Ludwig surged to the summit on the first ascent of Queen's Drive, while multiple Norwegian national champion Vita Heine attacked, taking second, and Elise Shabby once again picking up points for Bigler in third. Uttrup Ludwig attacked solo and opened up an 11-second gap for the first of 3 laps. On the second ascent, she claimed another 8 points and the Event Scotland Queen of the Mountains jersey with it. Julie van der Velde of Lotto Soudal Ladies scored 6 points, finishing second, and Elise Shabby claimed another 4 points. The next time Uttrup Ludwig passed the crowds at the finish line, she only had a handful of seconds as she took the bell. It was going to be a tall order to hang on. Her work done for the day, Uttrup Ludwig had emptied the tank, but she was safe in the knowledge she had secured the QOM jersey. It was now over to her teammates to finish the job. Julie van der Velde summited the fourth and final ascent first, Shabby in second spot to ensure she finished second overall in the QOM classification. Her Bigler teammate Leah Thomas, though, was well positioned and she came over the climb third wheel ahead of a very fast run down to the finish. It was all shaping up nicely for a bunch sprint, albeit from a reduced group. As the crowds cheered and banged the boards, the riders hurtled towards the line for the chance to become the first ever winner of this inaugural race. And after tireless work from her teammates on a filthy day in the saddle, it was the red jersey of Leah Thomas who crossed the line first after a brilliant lead out from Elise Shabby, who also finished second. Leah Thomas wins the third and final stage of the race with a powerful sprint finish. Teammate Elise Shabby crossing the line behind her for a Bigler 1-2, while Stein Borgli of Norway picks up another third place. Alison Jackson, wearing the yellow leaders jersey, finished fourth, losing the race by just 5 seconds. By virtue of winning the stage and the time bonuses she picked up in her quest for the sprints jersey, Bigler's Leah Thomas was crowned the first winner of the inaugural Women's Tour of Scotland. Stage 2 winner Alison Jackson, who just lost out in the final sprint, finished second 5 seconds back, while courtesy of her 2 third places on each stage, Stein Borgli competed the podium in third place.